My opponent asks her supporters to recite a 3-word loyalty pledge. It reads, "I'm with her." I choose to recite a different pledge. My pledge reads, "I'm with you, the American people." I am your voice.
I don't know if you agree, but it seems America is in the twilight of its greatness. Everything that we've swept under the rug for the past 400 years is now bearing a monster harvest of bitterness. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to survive it. Why? How am I so sure? Because we Americans have come to despise truth, love, blessing. In other words, we hate the Creator. We've got racism, and I don't mean one race hating another. I mean one race hating itself. We're deep into idolatry, corruption, fornication, sedition, contention, just for the joy of finding someone to hate. Pride, narcissism, rampant abuse of women and children, nihilism at its finest. But instead of talking about all of that, I want to bring it back to simple truth. So I'm going to talk about a name and what this name means for us at this critical time in history. That name is Donald John Trump. So let's get started. I'm going to start with President Trump's middle name, John. John, in male and female form, is one of the most common names in the Western world and has been for at least centuries. Some of the many variations are obviously John, Jane, and then there's Jan, Sean, Ian, Ivan, Joan, Sheena, Jean, Janine, Yvonne, Ivana, Ivanka, Jenica, Jonathan, Evan, Giovanni, Giovanna, Hans, Juan, Juanita, Joanna, and it goes on and on. But it's not just a common name, it's a very important name. John means God is gracious, or God is merciful. Grace and mercy go hand in hand. To have mercy is to show grace. To show grace is an act of mercy. Some translate it as the gift of God, and I think that's because God's grace and mercy are indeed gifts. They're things you can't even begin to earn. Looking more closely at the word John in the Bible, the Greek form of John is Ioannis. In the Hebrew, it's Yohanan or Yochanan, and is composed of the words Yo and Hanan. Historically, the sound Y went from Y to Io to Ja, depending on the language, word, and method of transliteration. Yo, Ya, or Yah is an abbreviated form of the name of the Most High, the being believed to have created all things spirit and matter, everything known and unknown. Hanan, or Hanan, literally means to bend or stoop in kindness to an inferior, figuratively to behave mercifully toward or to show favor that is not deserved. Grace is unmerited favor. So to bear the name John means predominantly two things to me. You are either evidence of God's love and mercy, because you freely bestow the favor and mercy God shows you to others. Of course, this only applies if you are a servant of the true and living Yod-He, Vav-He. There is only one true creator with this name, although there are many counterfeits. If you do not serve the Most High in spirit and in truth, then your name means the opposite of love and truth, as reflected in God. Instead of a blessing, you become a curse and an apparatus for retribution. You become a vector of hate and destruction. Personally, I believe when wickedness is your life's motto, it even manifests in your physical appearance. What is remarkable, even with the wicked, is that they also receive an abundant measure of God's grace and mercy. Donald Trump's middle name, John, means that Trump is meant to be used as an instrument of love in obedience to the Creator, or as an extension of God's wrath, judgment, and condemnation against the righteous if he follows his own way. This should not bear expounding, but it is also important to remember that when you are an instrument of love, love equals God equals truth, by default, you are an instrument of the condemnation of the wicked. The wicked run when no one pursues. Truth is truth, so what Donald Trump is, he cannot change. And however you view our current president, apart from the discernment of the Holy Spirit, is an indicator of the condition of your own heart. Is it significant that this trait, which has been ascribed to President Trump by his parents, is a secondary or middle name? I don't think so. To be in the middle is to be a go-between, a mediator in a position of balance. Grace and mercy are very difficult states to maintain. It's easier to swing to the left or to the right than to remain in the middle. Your last name is your root. This is from where you descend or ascend. It is the backbone of what you and your clan represent. Family cultures are established by the men and reinforced and continued by the women. The general character of a clan is usually identified using a family's last name. For instance, you could say, "Those Smith kids are always respectable," or "Those Jones spend money like water." Every time you say someone's name, you reinforce the meaning of it. Whoopi Goldberg of The View refuses to speak President Trump's name in full or in part. And while you may not agree with her decision, her actions have power. So let's look at the last name Trump. Trump is German. His ancestors were German immigrants from the village of Karlstadt in the Rhineland region of Germany. Some of Trump's distant relatives still live there today. It is said that Trump means drum. Before I explore the meaning and significance of drum, I'm going to give the dictionary definition of the word trump from the 1978 edition of the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language. The second definition is a trumpet, derived from the Old High German word trumpa. A trumpet is a device used to give a resounding call. In Hebrew, the word trumpet is shofar or sopar or shopar. This is derived from the word shafer. It's a primitive root meaning to glisten, to be beautiful, be acceptable, think good, beauty, goodly. Trumpet is also the word yobel or yovel, apparently from yaval, which is the blast of a horn from its continuous sound. Yovel means a stream or river. Remember that. Now, yaval or yabal is a primitive root meaning to flow causatively, to bring, especially with pomp, bring forth, carry, lead forth. These words are not a coincidence to be associated with the name Donald John Trump. So I'm going to conclude that one of the meanings of the name Trump is bearer of. Trumpets bear or bring an announcement before an event is to take place. Now let's look at drum, which is the most likely meaning of the word trump, as it is German and derived from the word Trommel. The dictionary definition of drum is a percussion instrument consisting of a hollow cylinder or hemisphere with a membrane stretched tightly over one or both ends, played by beating with the hands or sticks. And then there's this definition: to summon by or as if by beating a drum. If trump is the drum, who or what is the hand beating him? And what is being summoned by the noise produced? Is it summoning the grace of God? Is it producing the sound of love? Or is it drawing something else? In the Hebrew language, drum is transliterated to timbrel in the King James English, and it is the word tof or top, which is derived from the primitive root tafaf, which means to strike or to drum or to beat. If the president is playing America as he would a drum, what kind of sound is he producing? Are we sending up a chorus of unity and love, or the antithesis? Last is his first name, Donald. Donald is of Celtic origin. It means world ruler or chief ruler. I'm going to go back to the Hebrew for a little more insight on the word ruler. There are many Hebrew terms describing a leader. Masal, meaning in part to reign. Kohen, which is literally one officiating. Neither of these seem to fit the description of Donald. There's also Sed, a chief general taskmaster. Then there's the word Nagid. This also means chief, ruler, and chief ruler. What's interesting, however, is that it is derived from the word Nagad, and this is what it means: a primitive root properly to front, i.e. stand boldly out opposite, by implication, causatively, to manifest, figuratively, to announce, always by word of mouth to one present, specifically to expose, predict, explain, praise, bewray, and bewray means reveal, divulge, or make something known, disclose, certainly, certify, declare, declaring, denounce, expound, fully, messenger, plainly, profess, rehearse, report, shew, shew forth, speak, surely, tell, utter. To me, this seamlessly dovetails into the meaning of trump, which I'll remind you means as a trumpet to carry, lead, bring forth, and as a drum to beat or strike in order to bring forth a noise that summons something or someone. Here is what I've concluded are the meanings of President Trump's names. Donald, chief ruler declaring. John, God's mercy and grace. Trump, bearer of the beautiful sound or message that unites, summons, brings together. How would I put this together into a complete thought? I believe Donald John Trump's name is the following message as ordained by love, which is Christ, which is the creator of the universe. The chief ruler who unites the world by declaring the beautiful message that God is love, full of mercy and grace, for all who will come to him. Do you think, based on the fruits of this administration, that President Trump is a manifestation of this message? Do you feel more united with your fellow Americans or more divided? Remember, in the beginning of this video, I said that if you do not serve the Most High, you manifest the dark meaning of your name, which in turn represents your character in rebellion against love and truth. God is summoning his people. The drum is sounding. This is the last call. After this destruction, please prepare. Submit to love and love alone. It is the only thing that will save you. Thanks for watching.
We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you and good night. I love you.